Management shapes our success. A bit of housekeeping in terms of logistics, whether you are here with us or online. Our training events will be held in this room with coffee breaks right out the back. Lunches will be at the hotel restaurant. And don't miss our expert hour at the end of each day for spontaneous interactions, queries, and networking. Keynote talks will include Q&A sessions at the end, and our hands-on sessions are designed to be interactive. I suggest that you check the program and the bios of the speakers and connect on social media. This evening, you are all invited to the expert hour, which exceptionally will take place at the hotel bar upstairs at 4:30. This evening, you are also invited to a drink and tapas networking session on Thursday at 6:30 at the hotel's bar. To those participating online, please note that the expert hour sessions and the hackathons will not be recorded or streamed. So to you, the event will terminate on Thursday evening. The remote participation, I remind you, it's one way only, meaning that you will be in listening mode only. All the presentations, coding notebooks, and datasets will be shared on our GitHub repository for the workshop. And in the coming weeks, we shall be adding a link to the video of each session in the repository. This event is organized by the United Nations Conference for Trade and Development, the regional government of the Açores and the AirCentre, and the University of Açores is also a partner. A big thank you to our sponsors, FLAD, Fundação Luso-Americana para o Desenvolvimento, and the municipality of Angra do Heroísmo, the city where we are in, who always receives this so well. Your support is invaluable. A special thank you to all of those at the AirCentre and UNCTAD who have helped to organize the event, particularly to Iga Chesniak, Eugenia Nunes, Mariana Avila, and Gabriel Costa. Finally, to Catarina Duarte, who never fails to take great care of the logistics and of our guests, as you can attest. So today we are also, it's a very special Julia event because we are launching a project with the United Nations Conference for Trade and Development. Sorry, I need water. As we step into the new year, we're thrilled to announce a joint project with the United Nations Conference for Trade and Development and the AirCentre. Harnessing space technological applications in sustainable urban development. This initiative aims to empower science, technology, and innovation experts, particularly female scientists, in using geospatial technology for sustainable urban development and achieving SDGs. Piloting in Brazil and South Africa, which are here with us today. This marks the official beginning of the project that lasts for 1 year. Additional, there will be one presential workshop in Brazil and another in South Africa, and a third remote, before terminating here at Julio 25. The project is funded by the Portuguese government via the Portuguese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So in the context of this project, we are privileged to have with us today the following speakers. Ms. Ana Neves, Chair of the United Nations Commission on Science and Technology for Development, Ms. Eugenia Nunes, Senior Economist at the United Nations Conference for Trade and Development, and Mr. Miguel Miranda, the CEO of the Atlantic International Research Center. I'll pass the floor to them. So hereby I call to the stage Ms. Ana Neves, Chair of the United Nations Commission on Science and Technology for Development. As my final words, thank you everyone for being here, for all the effort in organizing. Your contributions and participation are critical. So let's make this journey of learning, innovation, and inspiration. So welcome to Julio 24. Let the adventure begin. Anna?
Eu não preciso. Não. Posso falar? Tocar. Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am pleased to join João Pinelo in extending a warm welcome to all of you to this 2024 Julia Earth Observation Conference. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ana Neves, and I'm currently the chair of the United Nations Commission on Science and Technology for Development, that I will refer as the CSTD, Commission on Science and Technology for Development. And UNCTAD, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, serves as the secretariat of the CSTD. This event marks the first joint UNCTAD AirCentre activity under the CSTD project on harnessing space technological applications in sustainable urban development, which, thanks to the funding by the Portuguese government, it is now a reality. The CSTD is the focal point of the United Nations for the treatment of science and technology for development. It provides an intergovernmental forum with multi-stakeholder participation for discussion on timely and pertinent issues affecting science, technology, and development. This year, we will have two main themes to discuss. The first one will be data for development, and the second one on global cooperation in science and technology and innovation for development. Both issues are closely linked to the event of today. On one hand, mishandled data risks exacerbating development disparities. So, effectively managed data is indispensable for sound development policy. The CSTD, as noted in the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 77/150 from 20 December 2022, has a role to play in unraveling the intricate relationship between data and sustainable development. Regarding global cooperation in science, technology, and innovation, while the CSTD frequently stresses the importance of global cooperation in leveraging science, technology, and innovation for achieving sustainable development goals, the SDGs, SDG 17 on partnerships has not been taken up specifically as a priority theme. Clearly, there's a need for broader strategic discussion on international collaboration in STI, Science, Technology, and Innovation, including research, funding, knowledge dissemination, technology sharing, and open source approaches. This project is contributing to fill this void. The following is a glimpse of initiatives taken at the CSTD and implemented by UNCTAD as its secretariat to empower developing countries to harness the STI potential for development. In 2023, UNCTAD have completed STI policy reviews in 21 countries. These reviews often spark a new or updated STI policy, elevate the science, technology, and innovation status in national development strategies, and facilitate the inclusion of related activities in international cooperation. A pilot project to build capacity for technology assessments in African countries seeks to aid these countries in identifying opportunities and challenges and preparing appropriate responses before introducing new technologies, particularly frontier technologies. A 3-year STI Park development project spanning Mongolia, Uzbekistan, Ghana, and Mozambique aims to empower these countries to formulate effective, integrated policies and institutional frameworks conducive to the development of STI parks. These will be achieved through hands-on training and practical knowledge transfer, drawing from the successes of other developing countries in the utilization of STI, as Science, Technology, and Innovation parks, and similar initiatives. The Crop Watch Innovative Cooperation Program is facilitating satellite data-based agricultural monitoring in developing countries by installing a software system in participating countries and training these countries on how to use it. UNCTAD and Okoyama University in Japan have partnered to engage developing countries through the Young Female Scientist Program and the Young Scientist PhD program with a focus on cutting-edge STI research for SDG implementation. As of September 2023, the PhD students from Nigeria, Madagascar, and the Philippines are studying in the universities subjects related to wastewater management, healthcare, and food security. By the last December, 24 young female scientists from 10 CSTD member states will have conducted short-term research with guidance from the university's esteemed professors. And finally, in August, UNCTAD and the Thailand Science Research and Innovation provided training to 17 women from 9 countries in Africa and Asia on the biocircular economy model in Thailand. The training, financed by Thailand, was initiated at the CSTD in March 2023. And last but not least, in 2020, CSTD announced a program on harnessing space technological applications for SDGs to help bridge technology gaps in the developing world after examining the increasing important role of satellite technology in ensuring sustainable development goals, in particular on how these technologies contribute to SDG, the Sustainable Development Goal 6, ensure access to water and sanitation, and SDG 11, make cities inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. To that effect, UNCTAD and AirCentre decided to join hands, and we are pleased to announce that this capacity building initiative, funded by the Portuguese government and implemented by UNCTAD and the AirCentre, is now beginning implementation. Julia Earth Observation 2024 marks the start of activities of this program aimed to assist STI experts with particular attention to female scientists to use geospatial technology to increase resilience to sustainable development challenges such as natural disasters and access to safe water. After this meeting, the project will go to the field to developing countries to deliver specialized training aimed at building capacities. Ladies and gentlemen, we are working against the background of a global political, economic, and environmental crisis, the depth of which defies comparison with any other in the 8 decades since the UN was created. It is clear that an unprecedented effort to build and revive partnerships and collaboration is needed along many fronts, one being one on satellite technologies for Earth observation. We hope that this is the start of a global and innovative participation on Earth observation. Science, technology, and innovation is one front in which concerted actions has a better chance to help create a more sustainable, inclusive, and prosperous future for all. Let us make sure that our work here contributes to that. I wish you a very productive meeting, and thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Ana. We'll now have Mrs. Eugenia Nunes, Senior Economist at the United Nations Conference for Trade and Development, UNCTAD. Thank you. Do you have any presentation? Yes. Okay.
Presenters here.
Perfect. Thank you. Ana, Miguel, Joao, everyone here, everyone joining us virtually, a warm welcome to everybody on behalf of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Let me introduce myself. My name is Eugenia Nunes. I'm a senior economist with UNCTAD, overseeing the project with the AirCentre we are launching here today. So my presentation is intended to put some context to this conference and to provide you with some details on how this partnership with the AirCentre came about. It will cover first how geospatial technologies are an important tool in support of Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, Followed, but what role is there for international cooperation, and in particular, how UNCTAD supports CSTD initiatives and efforts? Thirdly, we will look at what the AirCentre and UNCTAD initiative is all about. Our aims, our vision, which became a reality thanks to the funding by the Portuguese government. So, we all know that the international community agreed to Sustainable Development Goals in 2015, with the idea of peace and prosperity for the planet and for people. However, last year the UN reported that the advancements and progress has been far from ideal. This, in the Secretary General's own words, he said it's uneven and insufficient. A preliminary assessment by the UN last year of the 140 targets of 169 shows that only about 12% are really on track. About half are severely or moderately off track, and we have 30% that have seen no movement or have even regressed below the 2015 baseline. I gave you some examples here in the slide where we can see that carbon dioxide levels continue to rise. Some experts say that these levels are not seen in 2 million years. Renewables will remain a fraction of actually the energy supplies. 660 million people will be without electricity if we continue on this track. 575 million people will remain trapped in extreme poverty. 84 million children will be out of school. There is much more that can be said about the progress, but the lack of SDG progress is universal. And this is definitely not the future we envisaged in 2015. On the right side of the graph, I illustrated some examples of where geospatial technology can actually be aligned with the SDGs. It is important that we work hard and do much more on this front, not only because of the links, the contributions you can make to the SDGs, but also to strengthen the links between your contributions with policymakers. An interesting academic paper issued, I think it was in the end of 2021 by Baumgart, said that those technology-oriented SDGs, such as SDG 2 on zero hunger, 3 on good health and well-being, and 9 on industry, innovation, and infrastructure, were the ones most supported by space technology projects. Whereas institutional-oriented SDGs, including SDG 5 on gender equality, SDG 10 on reduced inequalities, and 16 on peace, justice, and strong, were the least supported by space technology projects. They also found that the contribution of space technologies varies significantly, with Earth observation being the lead. So Earth observation is key in support of the SDGs. And we know that technology has the potential to bring positive change. It can generate better outcomes for everyone. The 2030 agenda in particular was driven by a recognition that the future is evidence-based and data-driven. But we can see that developing countries face serious challenges. Among those challenges, they're depicted here in the slide. We see technological gaps, limited human capacity, data accessibility and infrastructure limitations, and we see weak institutional frameworks and governance for effective use of Earth observation and geospace technology. So addressing these constraints require a collaborative effort, something that I want to stress here today. Capacity building to empower developing countries in harnessing the benefits of Earth observation. So just to complement Anna's presentation, we have on one side CSTD, the UN Commission on Science and Technology for Development. It is the only UN system-wide body in charge of technological issues. It has a long history of examining space technologies. As you can see there in the 23rd session in 2020, in particular, the second issue they explored space technologies for sustainable development. As a result of these discussions, the Portuguese government decided to fund an activity on space technology Thanks to this collaboration where we're launching today with the AirCentre came about. You can see that the member states still place high priority to this agenda, with this year considering the 2 priority themes you can see in the slide, data for development and global cooperation in STI. So, on the other hand, we have UNCTAD. UNCTAD serves as a secretariat to CSTD, but we do more than that. We address technological solutions for global sustainable development. We do this through 3 pillars. As you can see, there's the intergovernmental track, which CSTD is part of what we serve. Then we do research. We have the technology and innovation report we issue regularly. Perhaps you are aware. And then we have technical cooperation projects such as this one. So UNCTAD supports CSTD member states and works on projects beyond CSTD as well. So what brings us here? Well, this is a partnership with the AirCentre on harnessing space technology applications for SDGs. What are our objectives? As stated in the slide, we would like to assist experts with particular attention to female scientists. And there I go back to SDG 5 on gender equality. We would like for this project to be able to contribute to that. So it is to use geospatial technologies and Earth observations to increase resilience to sustainable urban development challenges. On the other hand, we'd like to build capacities, absorb, manipulate, interpret, and digitalize information in support of policy making, and on reporting on those SDGs that I spoke to about earlier. It is definitely thanks to the funding from the government of Portugal that this is launched today. And what are our expectations? Of course, we want you to be trained, we want you to share knowledge, but we also want this to build a community beyond this conference. We want to generate impact to accelerate SDG progress, and we want to be able to develop a model that can serve to replicate and adapt to other countries in the future. So some key takeaways from my presentation that I'd like to share with you. The first is that there's a need for accelerated progress on SDGs and for developing countries to access the latest technological advancements. Geospatial technologies and Earth observation are recognized tools, effective tools, towards this end. This conference will also provide you with state-of-the-art tools to process data and collaborate on Earth observations. But again, after this conference, we want to build a community that will continue to collaborate with each other. Beyond this conference, can I please call your attention to think outside the box? Strengthen linkages on what you do. Strengthen your linkages between the scientific community and policymakers is one of our aims. So reach out to officials in support of evidence-based policymaking for SDGs so we can make progress a reality. Thank you very much for your attention, and I wish you very productive discussions in the days ahead and the week. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, to finish this session, we'll have Mr. Miguel Miranda, our CEO of the Atlantic International Research Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariana. It's okay? No, I must first tell you that I do not like the idea CEO, you know. We are not a big company doing business or money. We are here for a very different business. Up to the end of the 20th century, the information available for countries, for communities to decide on their lives was very uneven distributed on the earth. The North Hemisphere, where you have US, Europe, even Russia, and the parts of China was very well covered by sensors, by equipments, by people, by universities. The Southern Hemisphere was needing similar efforts in similar means. It was satellites that changed the situation, because satellites create what I call sometimes the democracy on data availability. Satellites are not enough, because we need also open data, we need open means, and we need cooperation. The AirCentre is here to provide this level of cooperation. Our idea is very simple. We want to promote, to support, at our means, of course, at our level, cooperation between people everywhere in the Atlantic, from north to the south, with no constraint concerning boundaries, political orientations, whatever. We are here to put together people willing to behave differently in the future, to work together and to prepare all our communities for the changes that are already here, but that will be increasing very much in the forthcoming decades. We will have difficult times. Difficult times because the ocean is changing very fast, and in some cases we do not understand very well why. We will have difficult times because the hazards at the coastal communities are increasing, fisheries are under stress, and they are the support of very important communities in most of the countries of the southern countries. But we are here to say that we are different people. We are here only based on science, based on the willing to support our communities and to do our best for this. And this is the only message I want to convey to you. Work as much as possible, cooperate as much as possible, be inclusive. Identify all the people that can join our fight. And our fight is the only way. We have weapons. We have very good weapons for our fight. We have satellites, we have open data, we have open software, we have open ideas, because in any case, whatever it will happen in the next forthcoming years, this will be the community that is here for some centuries and that intends to continue here for the next centuries also. So thank you very much for your support.
Thank you very much, Miguel. Now we'll have the University of the Azores, Dr. Artur Gil, the Vice Rector for Science, Innovation and Knowledge Transfer. I would like to do just a small parenthesis. University of the Azores is a key partner of the organization of this event. And actually, we'll have an hackathon on Friday with a dedicated session for one of the University of the Azores problems. So it will be a problem that Sebastian is facing in his PhD thesis. We'll have an expert on machine learning that will help addressing this challenge. And I already give you the challenge to cooperate with us. We'll have a very interesting session for sure. Thank you, Artur. And
good morning, everyone. In the name of the rector of the University of the Azores, I want to give you a warm welcome to the Azores, and also in the city of one of our campus. I want to congratulate AirCentre and his president and director also for this organization and all the partners that collaborated and cooperated in this event. Being myself a remote sensing scientist, I'm well aware of the importance of this event. So I just wish you to enjoy it and to take the maximum as you can as this event. Thank you very much.
okay, so we are in advance, but we can already go to the outside and have a coffee break until 10:20, and we'll be back after that. Thank you.
Foi excelente, foi ótimo.